You know how stressful it is when guidance systems go down. You lose field time. You lose yield potential. You lose patience. Help is here. Raven Cruiser 2 RTK with Slingshot. Precision simplified. Learn more at ravensimple.com.
One of the worst weeds I can ever remember growing up, Brian, was Canada thistle. It was terrible.
It was, because it's a perennial weed, and you know what? There are still a lot of Canada thistle plants out there. With this perennial, it doesn't just have the roots that go down deep into the ground, it also has rhizomes below the ground. So it's going to spread out, and you're going to get Canada thistle patches out there. One of the problems becomes doing tillage. So when you till, then you cut those rhizomes, and now you've got separate plants that might just be below ground yet. You go spray a post-emerge broadleaf killer, and it doesn't get all those things that are below ground yet. It's a tough one. How are you going to stop it?
Well, here's the thing. You need to use Roundup. Roundup's the best thing you can do for Canada thistle in a crop area. Say you're in corn or soybeans or cotton, something like that. Roundup's the best, but you need a very high rate. A lot of guys will say, oh, I used Roundup, it burned it back, and then the thistle came back up. Yeah, it will, because you didn't use enough rate. So you need to use the highest labeled rate you can. Likely that's going to be 2 quarts.
Well, you say Roundup is the best, but I think Stinger is just as good if you use a strong enough rate. That would be a product you could use in wheat and several other crops. Now, if you have pasture ground and Canada thistle, we really like Milestone. That's the very best product there is, and I would spray it without the 2,4-D, so without the forefront combination, because what can happen is the 2,4-D can shut that plant down before the Milestone can get all the way in and through that root system. Fortunately though, Milestone has lots of residual. Toradon's also a decent product that has lots of residual, just not quite as good as Milestone.
That's all the time we have for this week's Weed, but there's more Ag PhD to come after this.